All right, everybody, massive week for fantasy football, week 12 here. I'm going to get you guys fully prepared with the latest news and notes, all the optimal starts at each position, the guys that have it in tough, the full breakdown, the defenses to stream for this week. It's a must win, get you fully covered. If you're new to the channel, guys, it's very, very important you hit subscribe. If you're here regularly, smash that thumbs up. Let's get the algorithm pushing this thing out. This is the #1 fantasy football podcast, the only place giving you real news, real advice, truth to sports, and advice that's actually going to win your league. So hit that and smash that thumbs up. It takes a second of your time. And drop your starts and sits questions below. I'll try to get to as many as I possibly can. Guys, listen, I'm out here on vacation still. It's an extended vacation, enjoying the pool, enjoying the South Florida. Love this. And I'm just out here continually giving you guys amazing content. So if you are new, again, hit subscribe, okay? If you've not done this yet, I know a lot of people may be kind of at the brink of maybe elimination in fantasy football or something like that. Hopefully you're not in that situation. That's why you got to listen to this episode so you can stay in it. But you guys need to head over to mybookie.ag right now. It's risk-free. Get in there, play. They got a $500 bet back bonus. Mybookie.ag, the code you want to use when you sign up, it's called FFC, and get in on the action. And once you get signed up, put down a deposit, there's some amazing incentives coming up for Black Friday, okay? I'm telling you guys, it's going to be easy cash. So mybookie.ag, the code you want to use is FFC. Go in there, create an account, and you guys will be absolutely happy, because you're going to enhance that game watching experience. Okay, that's the partners, mybookie.ag. All right, let's start off here, guys, with the latest news and notes with guess who?
We now have breaking news.
There he is. Okay, I want to talk about some news here, then we're going to get to the optimal starts at each position. Let's rip through it, okay? Chris Godwin stays limited on Wednesday. He's got a fibula issue. He sucks. He's washed up, okay? Bucky Irving, there's a chance he could play this Sunday. That's really going to destroy Sean Tucker's value coming off that amazing week. So Bucky Irving could get some playing time and get back into it this week. He's had the shoulder and foot issue, but he was limited to Wednesday's walkthrough, but he's trying to get back into it, okay? Emeka Egbuka is dealing with an illness. Wednesday's walkthrough was limited. Note that. We've got a lot of Buccaneers injuries. Baker Mayfield comes down with illness as well. I don't know, were these guys kissing? What's going on? What are they dealing with? They're both ill. I don't know what's going on. Were they both hung over together? We don't know, okay? Dak Prescott was limited through walkthrough, dealing with a hip issue. Trey Benson officially limited, so Trey Benson trying to get back into it, dealing with that knee issue. He sucks. I mean, talk about a guy who squandered and wasted an opportunity where he actually had an opportunity to be the starter, and he just got hurt. Like, it just shows you how crappy he is. You say, well, Joe, injuries is a huge part. If you're not durable and if you can't stay healthy, then you absolutely suck, okay? Lamar Jackson dealing with an ankle issue, did not practice on Wednesday. Joe Burrow deemed full practice participant. He's dealing with that toe issue, full practice on Wednesday. Jackson Dart limited in practice, concussion. There's so many injuries this year, guys. It's crazy. Aaron Rodgers hopes to practice Thursday, dealing with that wrist on his non-passing hand. Isaiah Pacheco returning to practice with a knee. Crazy, man, absolutely crazy. Josh Jacobs absent on practice Wednesday, so look for his backup Wilson to step up. And Josh Jacobs, I think this would be temporary. He faded a major catastrophic injury, so Josh Jacobs should be good to go probably in a couple weeks. Drake London is not expected to play on week 12, so start up the backups, any wide receiver you feel, maybe a guy like Mooney, someone like that. So as long as London remains sidelined, Kyle Pitts, Mooney, David Stills, Hodge are all positioned for expanded roles. Marvin Harrison ruled out week 12. He's dealing with that. I think it was an appendix. That's going to put you out, guys, for a couple weeks. Marvin Harrison Jr. Michael Penix needs procedure on ACL. Fire up Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, last time he played, did not have a good outing. Dalton Kincaid ruled out for Thursday Night Football. Nico Collins turns into full practice. He was dealing with an ankle issue. Man, just keeps going here, man. CD Lamb, that's a second touchdown of the season, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Brock Bowers, also note Brock Bowers, he was injured the entire year. I want to make a note of this. I called the bust there, and he came back and led with 12 targets. But man, has the Raiders been an absolute crap show. So there you have it with the latest news and notes. I want to get you guys fully up to date, so make sure you guys do follow on my socials. I am posting this news on my Insta at Fantasy Football account. So go on there, turn on the bell so that you guys are fully up to date here, okay? Because sometimes, these full form videos are good, the full form on YouTube, but on Insta, I'm updating you guys on the fly there on my story mode, okay? So join the chat there, okay? So let's start off with the optimal players at each position here. We'll get rid of the latest news and notes. Thank you, Breaking Brad. We appreciate
We now have breaking news.
your help here today, okay? So let's talk about the optimal players at each position here. Starting off with the quarterback. Jalen Hurts, great matchup versus Dallas. And as you can see here, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. The green here is a good favorable matchup, okay? And these numbers right here are the past 3 matchups. So Jalen Hurts, 15 points, 5 points, and 25 points 3 weeks ago. And as you can see, a little bit cold. The ice means cold. The flame means he's doing pretty good. So all your green matches here, and again, you could pause this and take a look, are favorable. If you're torn on who to start or if you're playing DFS, this is great. This algorithm is really accurate. It's going to help you guys with your starts and sits, okay? So we got Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff, Drake May, Brissett, Aaron Rodgers, Stafford, Bryce Young, Caleb Williams, and Lamar Jackson. All favorable matchups versus position here. Anything here you see in yellow is mid-range matchup here. Like guys like Kirk Cousins, I said he's coming in. He's got a mid-range matchup. Pat Mahomes in a must-win situation, you know, we're going to talk about that in another video. Subscribe. I think they're definitely going to win. I think the fix is in. Now, last week they didn't win, right? And I think that because a lot of the money was put on the Chiefs to win that, and now all of a sudden they're favored again against Indy, who is a better team. You know, I would not think that they should be favored at all versus Indy coming off a loss, but that shows you that they're probably going to win, right? They want to deter you. They want you to bet on Indy so they can make the Chiefs win. Tougher matchups. You got to start them regardless. Josh Allen, Geno Smith sucks. Tough matchup. Baker Mayfield, tough matchup here. Obviously, you got that illness we talked about, but it's something to monitor. I think it'll be okay. Trevor Lawrence, J.J. McCarthy, Brock Purdy, Daniel Jones, all tougher matchups versus position. You guys need to note this when you guys are looking at your starting lineups, okay? Let's move on here. We're going to move on to the running back position. Again, feel free to drop your questions below. I'll try to get to as many as I can. Travion Henderson, there's talk about Stevenson coming back this week. It's going to be interesting to see how bad they actually do hate Henderson. Because at this point, Henderson is a 3-down workhorse running back, as I said and predicted all offseason and in the season. So Travion Henderson primed, on fire, coming off 32 points and 31 points consecutively. Stevenson should not see the field at all, but if he comes back, I wouldn't be surprised if they give him the goal line work. Look out, okay? It's going to be annoying. Woody Marks, great matchup here. All these guys, Jahmyr Gibbs, great matchup here. As you can see, all of this is green. Kenneth Walkup, great matchup. We see kind of a committee really formed there with Zach Charbonnet and him. We've got Alvin Kamara, good matchup here. Kyron Williams, phenomenal matchup here versus Tampa Bay. Saquon, who's been on a decline as I predicted. Great matchup here versus Dallas. Tootin coming off a pretty decent week, 13 points. It's a bit of a split here. Him and ATM both have it good versus Arizona. Derrick Henry, great matchup coming off a 23-point week. Derrick Henry, you may want to consider obviously starting him every single week, regardless of this fall-off year that he's had this year, okay? Breece Hall, great matchup. And Javonte Williams coming off like 2 crappy weeks. The guy who came off the season hot has been really cool enough, okay? And Christian McCaffrey, mid-range matchup, but you got to start him. Chase Brown, he's been pretty consistent, 19, 19, 26 points consecutively over the last 3 weeks. You still got to start him. He's been safe, he's been solid, regardless of the New England Patriots rush defense. It's going to be a little tougher, but you got to start him. Tyrone Tracy, obviously a must start if you have him, because running back depth is thin across fantasy football, but Tyrone Tracy, great matchup. Tough matchup versus position. You need to note that, possibly a flex play. Rashad White, Sean Tucker, it's a bit of a mess here because Bucky Irving could be coming back. But if Bucky comes back, you have to start him. You drafted him in the second, third round going into the season. But he may be limited. We got to monitor that situation. Sean Tucker coming off a phenomenal week. Do you start him now? You probably end up with 0 points if Bucky's back, so be careful there. Genty needs to step up. 4th hardest matchup versus Cleveland. At this point, man, I think he is a big-time write-off, unfortunately. I was wrong on him. Situation was good, in regards to talent, but in regards to the Raiders, not good at all, okay? Bam Knight, tough matchup. All these guys, you see Kyle Monaghan, Tony Pollard, James Cook, all these guys, tougher matchups versus position, okay? Moving on to the wide receiver here. Okay, let's go. We're going to look at the wide receiver. Let's go with the good matchups here. We got A.J. Brown, great matchup, 12-point game. He's been ice cold all season. I don't think his mind is there mentally this year at all. Either way, him and Smith. Smith has done nothing the past 2 weeks. Regardless, they have a good matchup here versus Dallas. Metcalf, great matchup coming off a 10-point week. Sucks. Has not done much. We got Jerry Jeudy. He had a great matchup last week. Only came up with 5 points. Great matchup this week versus Vegas. What's going to happen? You know, these guys just have not been reliable. A lot of wide receivers just not reliable with diluted situations there on these offenses, okay? We got Luther Burden, we got Rome Oduzde. I mean, who's the guy? We talked about this being a split situation. I got 3 points last week for DJ Moore. Everyone's like high on DJ Moore. He sucks, okay? Amon-Ra St. Brown, 6 points. We're talking a top wide receiver here. Williams was the beneficiary, and Williams has been consistent the past 3 weeks, especially with that Laporta being out situation, has really stepped up, okay? Rashid Shaheed, you know, good matchup. Torrey Horton, but Jackson Smith is the alpha there, so I don't expect anything from Shaheed and Horton. And all these other good matchups, as you can see here. Take a look. McMillan coming off a hot week, great matchup. We got Wan'Dale Robinson, only 8 points, but great matchup. Want to consider Rashee Rice, only 10 points last week, but another favorable matchup for him. And we got Chris Olave, good matchup. Guys that have it in tough, going at wide receiver, Keon Coleman, just unreliable. I heard they might be benching him yet again. I'm sorry about the Keon Coleman thing, but we did draft him at the 9th round, 10th round. We didn't pay much draft capital, but the target dilution is insane, because if you think Shakir's the guy, he had 1 point last week, but it was Shavers that got 19 points. The Bills are doing this on purpose due to prop betting. I'm telling you, they're messing with you. Allen has always been a one receiver type guy. Stephon Diggs years ago. Keon Coleman was a direct replacement, drafted in the early second round a year ago. He should be the guy, but it's just not working out like that, okay? And you got the same target dilution here with KC, with Indy versus KC. Is it Pierce? Is it Downs? Who is it? Is it Pittman? What a disaster there. I can't believe Laquan Treadwell is still on the, in the NFL. I see him here, okay? Pearsall coming off injury, only 1 point last week. Big time disappointment. Jennings, 9 point. Again, more target dilution with the 49ers. They got it in tough regardless. Dobbs, Golden, all these guys have it in tough, and they've not been performing. Watson was the beneficiary last week. Who's going to be the beneficiary this week? Something to monitor, something to be careful about when starting these guys. Tough matchup. That's why you got to look for consistent players, guys that are performing week in, week out, but it is tough this year. Honestly, it's been really tough to find consistency in any position for that matter, okay? Certain players, Jonathan Taylor, guys like that have been doing well, but overall it's been tough. Parker, Washington, all these guys, Jacksonville versus Arizona, 8th hardest matchup versus position. Alik Ayamanor, we got Ridley out for the entire season. Who's stepping up? Is it Dykey? Is it Ayamanor? Is it Van Jefferson? Like, who's stepping up? Nobody knows, right? Nobody knows. I would say Alik Ayamanor maybe as a flex play, hoping for a touchdown. Trey Tucker's got it in tough. He's done nothing. Again, situation. Thornton, is it Lockett? Is it Tucker? Is it Beck? Nobody knows. It's obviously Bowers based on last week, but do we trust that, okay? And Jefferson, 11 points, 8 points past 2 weeks. 11 points last week, unacceptable for Jefferson, a top 3 fantasy football pick, 11th hardest matchup for this week. Again, guys, drop your questions below. We'll do tight end and defense right now. With tight end, start your most consistent player. Start your, Trey McBride. Start your, Kittle if you have him. Start Kelsey. He was good last week. Look, and these are all the good matchups. Henry, McBride, Kelsey. We got Loveland, only 7 points last week. If you got him, you got to start him, right? Gunnar Helm, obviously can't trust him, but he's got a good matchup here. These are all your good matchups at position. Obviously, Kittle, great matchup as well. And Mark Andrews, good matchup. Guys that have it in tough, but you still got to start some of these guys. Ferguson's got it in tough. Schultz, they got it in tough, but they could be safe plays. We've got, who else? All these guys have it in tough. Dawson Knox got it in tough, but I think, I think we mentioned he's going to be banged up. Oh, no, he should be good. It was Kincaid that's out. Knox could be a good play, but again, they're distributing it all over the place in Buffalo. Tyler Warren, you got to start him. 7th hardest matchup versus position, regardless, coming off a bye week. Parkinson here from the Rams, tough matchup. So these are all your tougher matchup. A.J. Barnett, probably worth a start, but 10th hardest versus position. Now, defenses to stream here, you got to consider the Seahawks versus Tennessee. Great matchup, coming off a 2-point week, though. Raiders versus Cleveland, not so sure about that, but on paper, good matchup. Cleveland versus Vegas, I do like that matchup. Coming off a 17-point week is Cleveland. You may want to consider them as a start. Packers, great matchup versus Minnesota. Falcons versus New Orleans. Patriots versus Cincy, I do like that one. Jacksonville versus Arizona. That being said, Brissett's been pretty solid, fantasy-wise anyway. 49ers versus Carolina, I do like this. And Ravens versus the Jets. These are your defenses if you're looking to stream one this week, okay? That's all I got for you. Listen, again, going into week 12, you got to start your most consistent players. Look for consistency. Look for high on the depth chart. Look for volume. At this point in the game, you should know who to start and sit. And if you're not sure, drop your questions below. If you want direct access, join me on the Patreon group, patreon.com/FF Counselor. Join the front lines. We go year long. Join in there and you're guaranteed to get your question answered. Okay? That's all I got for you guys. Have a great day. Subscribe, thumbs up. And I will see you in the next video. Turn on the bells, notifications. I'm getting content to you daily. Have a great day. I'm jumping in the pool. Have a good one.